want to put any of my money towards Crunchyroll because I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
you're not doing a lot to get rights and like, production stuff over new shit. I've
Mm-hmm.
practically seen everything on here somewhere else. And not only that, but there's just all kinds of paywalls behind shit. Because, like, even free Crunchyroll, right?
Yeah.
Free Crunchyroll with ads, at most, you can watch 2 episodes of an anime. And that's been my experience for years with that. And it's just like, okay, so you're putting a paywall behind the rest of a series. Basically, you're only providing enough stuff for free. Because it's one thing to have the ads, right? Like, I can
Mm-hmm.
understand that. If you're a free application with ads, then that's understandable. That's how
Yeah.
you're paying for your platform. But if you're also going to put up a paywall to do more with anything inside the application, then you're just being greedy.
Oh,
And I get it,
exactly.
it's a company, I know, but at the same time, you can't expect people to eagerly want to pay out the fucking ass left and right all the fucking time.
No.
And so, like, it's just, I don't see it really doing all that well. And so you see moves like, oh, they bought out Funimation. It's like they had their merger years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had their merger, and then they split apart because of wouldn't you know it, an issue with ownership rights
Yeah.
over a certain anime or something like that. And so, or it was like production rights or something like that. And so they split apart. And so recently, Funimation was bought out by Crunchyroll. So it's a smart business venture for them. But the thing is, unless they can buy out other companies and shit, and basically have practically everything to put out,
Yeah.
they're not really going to go anywhere. And that's the thing. They aren't going to go anywhere because they can't afford to buy out from Netflix and other things like that are just these giants.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in that regard, shit's fucked. And I would say, like, it's very clear that my standing on it is it's fine. Go to that third-party website. Watch all so many odd episodes of Naruto or whatever the fuck. Like, are you definitely, like, I know you have these streaming apps,
Yeah.
but would you say
What's
that sorry,
no?
I
You're
know I'm talking a lot.
no, no. I was just trying to make sure I was listening for the question. Didn't want
Yeah,
to miss it.
yeah, but would you say that you're definitely, like, are you or are you not on that same boat though?
Same boat of
The
go
same boat of,
for.
yeah, for or against torrenting sites.
Oh
Like,
well, like like I was saying before with things, it's all kind of depends on what it is. Especially when it comes to anime, that kind of stuff.
yeah,
I don't see a problem. In all honesty, that doesn't bother me. In all honesty, at all. Now the well, maybe I should reword that. Because I mean it doesn't, but I get where people do come from when
yeah,
it's when it is about that. Because that does make sense, but that seems to be a little bit more of a gray area
yeah,
when it does come to those kind of things, because you have one side it's perfectly for it, one side is perfectly against it, or ultimately against it, ultimately
yeah,
for it, and then people that are right in the middle that don't really have an opinion either way. But when it does come to anime, movies, shows.
Yeah.
You gotta think about the because I mean, obviously the creator can't go out there or the mangaka can't go out there and just open up a whole new anime studio and get their
Right.
manga created and have their own and
And that is a valid
all that
point,
kind of stuff.
because that is the one takeaway
Yeah.
from it, which I actually, genuinely slipped my mind
No, you're good.
and everything. And I think we touched on it a little bit last week,
I think so.
both on the video game side of things and just in general.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole, yes, you get much more free access to it, but at the same time, none of that money goes back to, or as far as I know, none of that money goes back to the creator.
Yeah.
Now, who knows? Maybe how they're getting these kinds of things is like they go out and buy the fucking Blu-ray box set of fucking High School DxD, and then
Yeah.
they fucking rip that straight from the discs and then put it up online.
Exactly.
Which I would think that, like, with older stuff, that's probably how they do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's no different from, like, how you end up with video games online.
Oh yeah.
But even before they launch. Like, someone has a copy and they just
They
rip
upload
the
it
files.
and-
And they upload it and everything. So, like, that is the one downside. But at the same time, like, what I did say last week for sure was that if I find something online and I like it enough, like after watching it on this third-party site, I can just be like, okay, cool. Well, let's see. Do they have any merchandise? Do they have a
Mhm.
DVD box set? Or, like, do they have anything that I could, get that would support the creator?
Yeah.
Because that is another thing, though, is that, like, a lot of merchandise that you probably buy probably doesn't, that money probably just doesn't go to the creator.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of that kind of stuff is fan made anyway.
Oh, exactly.
Especially the more niche stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who the fuck out here is really a fan of Rock Lee?
Of Rock Lee?
Yeah,
I
no,
like Rock Lee.
I'm just shitting on you. I know for a fact people like Rock Lee.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, that's the kind of point, though. It's like, who genuinely likes character number 7 in insert show here, you know? Like, that's the thing. Like, there's only so much you can do with it. But at the end of the day, like, we're not saying go out and do this shit.
It's up to your own discretion.
Yeah, this is more so us just kind of
Talking about
discussing it, especially because this is something we have actually gone back and forth on several times.
Oh yeah.
But with that being said, going into the next, the probably the more heated part of this, video games.
Video game. I'll start this one out.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'll let you start this one,
Okay.
because you're the one that basically puts up a fucking shield and then bashes people's heads in the second they fucking even try to contest.
Yeah.
Because,
So,
like, whereas it's definitely more of a, we don't really care if you watch anime illegally. But then when it comes to video games, we are definitely hard fucking paralleled.
video games is just feels like a completely different medium in comparison to something like anime or movies or TV or whatever. So whenever companies put out a new game, for example, whenever Tears of the Kingdom was coming out, that's just the most recent example.
Tears of the Kingdom, Scarlet and Violet, because I know what you're about to lead up into.
Yeah, like that. Those games were released to the public early, unfortunately, to some retailers, and then they let certain people buy them.
Hell,
and just
and not even just like released early in some cases. It was like beta testers were putting stuff
that
up
too.
online,
Yeah, and like one person in particular that I did see, who was putting content out for Tears before the game even came out, already had the game like a month ahead of time, I think, something like that, or a few weeks.
Fucking really?
Was Sacred. He
Sacred
had,
Almighty?
yeah, he has
I
a
actually
separate
didn't know
website.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I had unsubbed from him from a little while back because
Hmm.
I just got to where I was like, this man, like a little side tangent here. He's annoying as hell.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
and that's a
usually watch
lot
his
coming.
stuff,
That's
but
a
like,
loaded statement coming from me.
yeah,
But
I was just
didn't even
curious
hesitate.
because,
You, but yeah, no, like the thing is, he's just I just got to where I just couldn't stand him. All
oh
of his
yeah,
videos are clickbait.
mm-hmm,
Like he has those clickbaity ass fucking thumbnails and titles, and half his fucking video is also him plugging his website
yeah, and
where he
that's the website that I'm talking about
yeah.
as well.
But I didn't realize he had gotten the game early and was putting shit out early, even though that violates the whatever the fuck it's called.
TOA or
Yeah,
something like that
the
or whatever.
the don't play this before.
But he didn't see. That's the thing. From the way that I understood it, the way he was talking about it, he didn't get it from Nintendo. He got it from like a local friend that worked at a store that sold it to him
And
for like
that's
more.
worse.
Yeah,
Because it's one thing. It's like Nintendo's like, hey, we have this
or
partnership with you.
NDA. It wasn't an
Yeah.
NDA.
Yeah. It's like, hey, we have this partnership with you. Here's a copy of the game early.
Yeah,
And
that's
everything.
completely different.
Yeah, that's different. What he did is actually straight up
Oh,
illegal.
that's not even the best part. Well, I mean, technically, I wouldn't say illegal because like, well, I don't know.
Well,
I wouldn't.
probably not. Yeah,
It's more
It's
immoral.
something to look more into
Yeah.
with it. But like,
But
it's definitely something he shouldn't have been able to do.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's
Because
unfortunately.
the game comes out, even if it was like an early release copy
Mhm.
or like a promotional, like, hey, here, we're giving you this game early, promote it,
Yeah.
like plug it, fucking shill it, like whatever you want to do, just like make us look good
Oh, exactly.
and everything. But like, no, it wasn't even that.
No. No, it wasn't even to my understanding. No,
Yeah.
it's been a little over a month since I've seen this video.
Mhm.
But no, he had it up on the website. But it wasn't up just, go in and watch it. You had to subscribe to him with money
Yeah.
to watch the video or to watch his premium content, I guess
So
you could
he
say.
got the
So-
game early when he shouldn't have,
Yeah.
and was making money off of content being
Early.
put up privately.
Yep. So that was one
So
thing. That wasn't
how-
pirated though.
So here's
Because-
my question then. I mean, technically, some piracy. That was physical piracy.
Well, because it was an actual retail release.
yeah,
you
it was a
know,
retail release, but
But he
was
got it
sold
before
ahead of time.
Exactly. And that
Yeah, it
kind of
was
stuff happens
sold
all the
early.
time. But people
So
don't.
that was more like real life piracy.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. If you think, you can think about it like that, because like that kind of stuff happens all the time, sadly. But it's not always, put up online or distributed
Yeah.
the way he did, and that's completely different. But there were also, kind of going off of that, there were people that were using Discord to link the what was it called? Just basically the ROM file. They're not ROMs. They're called something different. I forget the name of the Switch
Yeah.
files. But they were putting those up on Discord for people to download. You can go in and go to a download link. Just sketchy one, albeit.
Yeah.
But and play the game there if you know what you're doing. And because I was kind of following it, seeing what all was going on with the leaks and stuff, and just trying to see what people are doing, and all that kind of good stuff. Never downloaded that one because I was just like, no, thank you. I can
hope
wait a
that You
week.
didn't fucking
No.
download it. Which, knowing you, I know you wouldn't.
Yeah, no. The only way I would download, like a new game or a modern game or whatever like that, that's like only on Switch, not PC or whatever, would be like if I bought it. If I had the actual physical
Right,
copy.
same.
That's different.
And that's the thing. I can understand being excited for the game
Yeah.
and wanting to play it as soon as possible.
But
But
pirating, it's completely different.
right, like
there was even
for
somebody in one of my comments from the You Thought You Bought Tears of the Kingdom video.
yeah.
He was like, "Yep, no, downloaded that, played it, and on an emulator for like 30 minutes. God of War is better." So I disliked his comment. I left it up, but I just left the dislike on it.
Deleted,
But
reported.
yeah, I was just like, whatever. I don't
First
care.
of all, guy. First of all, if you're listening to this, thank you.
Thank you.
Second, secondly, though, fuck you.
Exactly.
Fucking, I played it for 30 minutes. To God of War better. Fucking.
I'm just like, dude, are you stupid? Like, do you even know what a good game is at this point?
Because here's the thing. From my understanding, a lot of the God of War games are pretty good.
Yeah.
Including the 2 newest ones. But, like, first of all, that's bait.
Yeah.
Second, technically, yes, I did just fall for it. Third, like, bro, first of all, if you think you're cool for your comment, you're not.
Yeah.
Because you fucking illegally downloaded this game.
Oh, yeah. And, it's
like,
it's just the take was the worst part. Like, I could care less if you downloaded. I'm just like, if you think the God of War is better than this, then no, you're just. I mean, that's my opinion, but in all honesty, it's also facts.
Because with that take, it's like, oh, everyone's entitled to their own opinions and all that, but at the same time, they're 2 completely different games.
Yes, exactly.
You can't. There's no way you could compare the 2.
Mm-hmm. You can try all day, but it's just not.
Now, if it was like, oh yeah, I played it for 30 minutes, I like Breath of the Wild more.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that's different. But like, dude, your take is just out there.
It's just ass. That's all
right.
It is. But so that was going on, and like I said, just kind of watching and seeing what's going on, laughing whenever these discords get taken down because of that, which was always fun to watch happen in real time.
Mm-hmm.
But the modern games, like I said, Switch. I mean, honestly, you can't really pirate Xbox One or Series S, X, PS5.
You can,
but
you say that
normal, people that have these, just a basic machine, that's gonna run like ass. That's just basic.
But also, my whole thing is, why would you even want to even try to emulate anything on that's
Switch, that new?
Yeah, like Switch, like a lot of those games, like anything that requires an internet connection to be played, like why would you even bother with that? Because I'll be honest, to put an example here, I want to play the new Ratchet and Clank. I've wanted to play it since its fucking reveal. What?
It's coming to Steam.
It's coming to fucking Steam.
Did you not know that?
Fucking no. Oh my god, I'm goddamn excited. I don't have to buy a PS5.
Yeah, let's see. Rift Apart. That's the newest one, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucking metal. Oh my goodness. Please be real.
It is.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in
the Discord
here. There you go. That's the Steam page.
Oh
yeah.
Yes. July 26th. Son of a bitch, that's soon.
Yeah.
God damn it. Well,
I know what you're gonna be doing here in a few weeks, or in a month.
Right. Well, you know what else comes out? I think that same fucking day.
What was that? Is that the DLC?
Hold on, I'm trying to think. No, Pokemon's not till the end of the year.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
I'm trying to think. Well,
I hope it looks
release, better. Well, fall release.
Well, I mean, true, but
fall and winter. But they also said in the recent trailer, they have it say planned release date.
Yeah.
So that makes me think that even though yes they plan to release it then, they may tell us later that they're gonna have to push it.
True.
Which I don't mind.
As long as it looks better than it did in
Look, I'm gonna be honest with
thing.
you. It looks fine to me. I didn't have any problems with it visually. I'm just excited that I get Gliscor back.
I know.
I'm so goddamn happy. I fucking screamed when I saw Gligar. I was like,
Nice.
it's the bunny! And I fucking lost my shit. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, no, what I'm pretty sure it comes out the same day is Story of Seasons Wonderful Life. The Harvest Moon Wonderful Life remake from GameCube.
Is that coming out on Steam or is that Switch?
Yes. That's coming out on Steam.
What was it called?
Story of Seasons Wonderful Life.
Seasons, A Wonderful Life.
Oh,
There
that
it is.
should be on my fucking wish list.
Yeah. June 27th comes out tomorrow.
Wait, June? I thought it said. Hold.
Nah, that comes out tomorrow.
Pause.
I'm paused.
Fucking pause.
Yeah, no, that's
Fucking
tomorrow.
pause. Fucking. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
Oh god damn it. No. Oh no. No. I thought this was a month away.
Nope, it's tomorrow.
Oh wait, hold on. I just realized. Oh, I swear, I didn't realize that. Okay, so we might have to edit our shit down because like the fucking trailer was playing at the top. So like I don't even know if. Well, we'll find out if that's in.
Oh well.
The audio or not.
Yeah.
Was it playing for you?
No, it wasn't coming through for me. I've got that muted.
Yeah. Oops. Well,
it's fine.
We should have our audio like fairly.
It should be fairly like. There's gonna be a little bit in mine.
There's gonna be fairly close, but now I have to edit this fucker down.
There's gonna be a little section in mine about.
Yeah. Fucking
20 minutes ago or so that I accidentally went to close out Steam, and I forgot OBS was running in Steam, and so
what?
It stopped for a second, for like a minute, and then I got it back up. So
God,
that's gonna be a slight difference there, but it'll be fine.
We're professionals here.
Very much so.
Just gonna have a quick pause. Well, that
was
unfortunate fun. That I had that little bit of a fucking dumbass moment.
Happens.
For in case it's edited out of this fucking video or out of the thing, my dumbass got super excited about a game and went to check on something on Steam.
Oh no, it's staying in
there. Well, the thing is, I don't know if that'll get copyright claimed.
Nah, I won't on mine because it didn't come through on mine.
Well, yeah, of course it's not gonna go through on yours. We'll find out.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be a problem. I mean, it's just a game audio.
Yeah. I mean, it's trailer.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Nothing to worry about.
But yeah, no. We are professionals.
Exactly.
The Last Word podcast. But anyway, yeah, that's fucking hype. Maybe look forward to that shit on the channel. Ghosts and Ghoulies.
Nice.
But yeah, no. But the thing is, back to the topic at hand.
Which one? The piracy?
Piracy.
Okay.
Look, motherfucker. We are going to try and do better about staying on topic. If it kills us and one of us is a ghost. But you know, with the whole, like, when a game is fresh the fuck out, like, okay, this being a good example, if I see anybody illegally fucking spreading around this wonderful fucking Harvest Moon game, it's one thing to like play the ROM of the original game that's on GameCube.
Yeah.
I'm actually fine with that. But don't you dare fucking do shit about the new one. If you're gonna play the remake, because it's like, oh well, the graphics are better, I could probably do something with that.
Buy it.
No, fucking buy it. And that's where I stand on that regard.
Yeah, so kind of going off of that as well. So what I was saying, you know, a minute ago, whenever it comes to like old, new, whatever type of games, old games, when it comes to those, the way I look at it, if the publisher, in this instance, the only games I ever do are like old Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
See,
That you can't get
that's
anymore.
also fine.
Which even now, one of my favorite ones to play on the Game Boy Advance emulator was Fire Emblem. That's coming to the Switch, so
And so now you have a
I don't
reason
have
to
to
not
worry about
emulate
that.
anymore.
Exactly.
Because
So
you can
that gives me
genuinely just do that.
exactly that gives me
See,
excitement
that's how.
for that.
Because like, that's why I don't really, aside from being afraid of fucking up my computer, that's why I
Mm-hmm.
really don't mess with emulators that much. Like I have a Game Boy emulator,
Yeah.
but that's for Poke MMO, which is a fan game
Mm-hmm.
and everything, and also for other Pokemon fan games. But like, the thing is, I really don't like emulate anything, which I do plan on like playing like Emerald or something like that for the channel. I don't have a Delgado, so I don't have the ability to like
Which I mean, there's no
do that with my
telling
3DS.
when they're gonna do that with
Right.
the Switch, which doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense why they weren't like, hey, look, here's original
I
Red and
feel
Blue.
like,
It's just like,
well, I feel like they were
what?
not wanting to just heavily fucking just sideline their fucking DLC because like that's their big thing right now.
I mean,
I feel like they clearly do not want to get people going, well, fuck the DLC. I want to play Emerald.
I would, I'd 100% play that over the new
Yeah.
ones, because
Well,
like, okay,
because that's the thing. I would
that's a whole
definitely play. Like, look, fucking hold on, motherfucker. I was actually about to fucking try and pull up a camera, but I don't have a physical camera on my computer. What I was doing was I was opening a drawer and pulling
Yeah.
out a Game Boy Advance SP
Yeah.
with physical copy Emerald.
Oh yeah,
Because the thing is, the way I am, unless I plan to record it, I'd have to get all that equipment first.
yeah.
But the
Doing
thing
that
is,
is
yeah, that's a pain. So I'd rather just
Mhm.
say, fuck it, personal time. I'm playing Emerald on the Game Boy
yeah,
and everything. But like, the thing is, for the most part, like I have these all physical. So like, if I really get that itch of like, oh, I want to play this game, I'm not gonna emulate it. Partially because keyboard controls suck ass when playing. That's part of why I don't like to play most emulators, is because I don't like, especially with the Game Boy, which is just up, down, left, right, and everything. I don't like having to do that shit with the keyboard. It doesn't feel natural with what I'm seeing. And I'm pretty sure there's probably a way to get like a controller that,
hmm
or like the hook up a controller and do that. But at the same time, that still doesn't feel right to me. I'd rather just play it on the fucking Game Boy that I have.
yeah.
But for those that don't, much like with the whole like, oh yeah, well, I don't have that streaming service. It's another case of that. It's like,
Mhm.
but that doesn't excuse modern games at all. It's like,
No.
oh, I don't have a Switch, but I want to play Scarlet and Violet.
I want to make
So I
it
guess
better.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a minute because we're keeping modding separate from our discussion about just
okay, no,
emulating.
modding
No,
goes
modding,
into play
modding
with
modding is completely
emulating.
different.
Nah,
No, no,
it's not
Caleb.
completely different.
No, Caleb, no, we're putting that
trust me.
aside. We're gonna talk about that in a minute because modding is because it's one thing to be like, oh, I want to play Skyrim, but I don't want to pay for it. Emulation. Oh, I
Game
want to play
Pass.
Skyrim. I have, well, that's another thing. But like, it's like, oh, I want to play Skyrim. I have Skyrim. I don't like Skyrim. Modding. That two completely different beasts. So let's finish up. Let's finish up just baseline emulation. Then we'll get into modding.
Okay.
Because there's a couple points I'd like to make in modding that are ups and downs and stuff like that. But with emulation, it's like you have someone that's like, oh, I want to play the new Pokemon games, but I don't have a Switch. I'll emulate it. Like, first of all, like if you have, there's a lot of things I could say. Like, if you have the money to have yourself a fucking PC, which granted I get a lot of people actually will run emulators on their fucking Android phones or whatever.
Yeah.
But still, let's say this scenario is you have a PC, like a standard PC, and you're choosing to emulate a Switch on there and run ROMs of illegal ROMs that have been ripped from game files of games that are currently still being sold in stores, not like third-party stores like Game Exchange or whatever, but like GameStop and Walmart and shit like that. Like, it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like, there's no point in basically a lot of what Caleb was saying. You shouldn't emulate anything that's still out currently, that you could still go to the store and buy off the shelf, even if you don't have the hardware. Like, I get it. We're in tough times. You can't afford that Nintendo Switch. But, like, let's be real here. Would you actually fucking play the game if you... Because that's a thing that we could use to lead into the modding. Because I feel like you're just, like, bursting at the seams over there. You're very quiet. Eventually, we will have camera feed, at least between the two of us, so that way we can kind of gauge each other off the conversation. But, like... but yeah, to open it up to modding, because, like, it's like, oh, say you have a Nintendo Switch. You have... So let's not use Scarlet and Violet. Sword and Shield. And you're like, I don't like the trees in this game. The trees, they look like they're from a fucking PlayStation 2. This looks like fucking Ocarina of Time shit. Like, and then you proceed to load that shit up on your computer, because of course you would, because you're just like, oh, I don't like how this looks. Switch emulator Sword and Shield ROM, and then you load that up, and then you look for the mods, and then you mod the fuck out of it. At that point, it's no longer the same game. Like, it's one thing if something comes out and it doesn't look as polished and pristine as you expect it to look.
Well, okay, so that's one thing. Whenever you have a game or games like Sword and Shield, Scarlet Violet, Let's Go Pikachu, Brilliant Diamond, or BDSP, all these Pokemon games that have come out in the time span that Breath of the Wild came out to Tears of the Kingdom. Those two games still look phenomenally better than anything, unfortunately, that the Pokemon Company has released, because agreed, we gotta have this Pokemon game out by this point in time for money, sales, Christmas money, all that kind of fun stuff. That's all it is. You know, if they really wanted to make a good looking Pokemon game, they would, you know. And if they only do and push things out the way that they do, is because they know Pokemon sells. It's going to sell whether it looks like shit, whether it looks amazing. It's going to sell. It's Pokemon. That's just how it is. Unfortunately, we're at that point. It does make me sad that we're at that point, but we are at that point, and we have been for the past entire life cycle of Switch. And I mean, somewhat into the 3DS, you know, Sun and Moon look okay for being 3DS games. Now, I could just be an old school kind of guy. I like my 2D Pokemon games where they actually looked really freaking good for the sprites.
Which I will clarify. Gens 4 and 5 were not 2D. 2D sprites, yes. However, the world and environment were a 2.5D, quote. Yeah. Basically, they were 3D environments and 2D graphics mixed together. but it still looked good for what it was.
Yeah.
You can take things, and I don't know if you want to like show it on your screen or not, but like you could take things like fan games, like shit. Can I even think of any by name that aren't just the in-game graphics of those games? Yeah, no, I really can't. But like you can take a lot of Pokemon fan games that you see coming out that
And
have a
they're in the.
lot of work put into them, and they're solely 2D, not like the
Mm-hmm.
2.5D stuff. They are solely 2D,
Yeah.
and they look
It's
stunning,
amazing. Yeah.
gorgeous. Like nowhere near the level that you see, in my opinion, with the 2.5D style of like Octopath Traveler or Triangle Strategy or, the Octopath sequel.
Mm-hmm.
But like Pokemon could be at that degree.
Like if we had a Pokemon game in that art style, like it'd be hard for me to put it down. Like
Right.
I mean, granted, I've not bought and I've not picked up, Octopath or anything like that. Like I've played demos, I loved them, but I just never found the time to finish them.
Right.
Um, one, if I got it on Steam, I could play it on my Steam Deck while I'm at work, which I might eventually do if that goes on sale. But
Which I have physical copy if you ever want to borrow it.
Oh really? Oh, okay. I might
Yeah.
have to borrow that then.
I just forget that I have it.
Yeah, on Switch.
Because I haven't. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I might have to
But,
do that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. See, now you don't have to emulate it.
Hey, well, I wasn't gonna emulate it. No, I was gonna buy it eventually if it went
Yeah,
on
no.
sale. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Staying topical.
Oh
But,
yeah.
like the thing is with the whole, because like I feel like all these discussions almost always
they go back to
run
Pokemon.
straight back to Pokemon and modding, because those seem to be like so fucking hand in hand. Because I will admit,
I love Pokemon.
the work that people have put into modding Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl,
They look so good.
yeah,
Like,
I will say it's
holy
great. I will
crap.
say I don't know how I feel about like the higher frame rate
I love it.
thing,
Give me
'cause-
60 FPS all day
Well, like,
because the Switch can handle it. Give it to me.
what I'm getting at is like a lot of shit, and I don't know if it's because I'm just used to seeing stuff move slower,
Could be.
or
It does take
if
a minute.
it's just because like it's kind of like with new TVs, right?
Yeah.
Because like I see a newer TV showing an older TV show, and everything looks like it's just flying the fuck by, and I'm like, this is
Mhm.
not how fast this movie was, and so
Yeah.
it just feels weird.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, this isn't how this show is supposed to look. Fucking Big Bang Theory ain't supposed to be this fast. But like, because I saw a clip on, because like I see clips from the BDSP editing and stuff like that that's being done like a lot on Twitter.
Yeah.
And one I saw recently was Electros and its battle animations, and it just looked stupidly fucking fast. And I'm like, that feels unnatural
Yeah.
and everything. And don't get me wrong, it does look good. It's really cool that people are doing this. And for a game that pretty much probably, if it weren't for the fact that they've got to make their money back somehow off of sales, even though they've basically done that with the Japanese sales alone,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they gave a shit about Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. It showed
No.
that they didn't give a shit about Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl because they passed it off to Ilka to handle.
Mm-hmm.
Which, don't get me wrong, I will say Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl looked
They look good.
good.
They did.
It did. And I'd say it even played better than Diamond and Pearl initially did, I
Yeah.
think.
From what I
I
remember.
haven't beaten it myself. The same. Like, I
I've
haven't
gotten
beaten it
decently
myself.
far myself.
I think I got to Crasher Wake and I beat
Okay.
him.
Yeah.
But like, the thing is, people, on one hand, I feel like they're just never satisfied and they always want more. And don't get me wrong, I understand that. Like, we can definitely go further into detail with it because we do plan on doing a stream that is solely Pokemon
Oh,
and
yeah.
one that is solely Destiny 2, because I made up a list today and showed it to Caleb, and it was like a bunch of podcast topic ideas, and I was like, well, we know that the Pokemon one's going to happen.
Yeah.
because almost every fucking episode ropes back everything I record.
Ropes back to
Yeah,
Pokemon.
ropes back to my favorite thing. So I was like, we're gonna have to do an episode on Destiny. And I'm always hellaciously for listening to people talk about the lore of things that they really like.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, with the whole premise of like modding, we'll back off from, because like with Pokemon, that's just people wanting to have, it's like BDSP. It has a limited dex. It doesn't have it doesn't have every Pokemon up to Gen 8. It doesn't prior to Legends Arceus is the big thing to keep in mind here.
Mm-hmm.
And everything. So like it doesn't have the sword shield dex.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm pretty sure it's just Diamond and Pearl's Pokedex and everything. And so you have essentially this game that does the same damn thing that Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee does, right?
Mm-hmm.
That looks fairly nice and is fairly one-to-one with the story. If not exactly one-to-one with the story. But people shit on it. They shit on it so much.
No.
They made the base level champion battle more difficult than what it was in Diamond and Pearl, and they still bitched about it.
Mm-hmm.
And everything. And I'm like, if you're gonna praise Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee to the moon and back for what it is and not even touch it with mods, but you're going to mod the shit out of Diamond and Pearl just because it wasn't a platinum remake, I'm sorry, no. And let's be real here, that's why it's happening.
Oh
it
yeah.
It wasn't a platinum and it wouldn't even even if it was a platinum remake, people would have been upset that it wasn't a platinum plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what they wanted, was a platinum plus. Because I'll be honest, what I wanted was just a platinum 1-to-1 remake
Oh yeah.
and everything. If they made a 1-to-1 remake of Heart Gold Soul Silver, I would have bought it twice. But
Honestly,
like
same.
in regards to modding games, like it just depends on how long that game's been out. And it also goes on, well, can you buy it still? Skyrim is that Schrodinger's cat of, it's been out for a long ass time, and yes, you can still buy it, mainly because, you know, as long as it's available digitally, you can still buy it fucking anywhere.
Oh yeah.
But like, it's that Schrodinger's cat situation where it's like, oh, yeah, it's old and it's still out and you could still buy it. But the thing is, it's one of those games to where it aged okay and it looks all right. And the only reason they keep re-releasing it with more and more shit is because they're just trying to make money off of it and stall. And my theory is that they're trying to stall for Starfield.
Yeah.
But with the whole thing with modding and everything, because even I think even back then, like Skyrim had been out maybe like a year or two,
Mm-hmm.
and people were modding it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Skyrim is best on PC because you can mod it." I'm like, "Oh well, that's fine, that's funny," but like, why? Like, it's one thing to do these things to, because like I will say, when it comes to graphical fixes or something like that, or hell, even you going and being like, I'm a genius and I can fix this bug that fucks things up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, first of all, if that's a thing, that'd be sick as hell. But I don't think people even do that.
No, they do.
Do they?
Oh yeah.
Because like I wasn't sure.
Not just on
If-
that, but you know, plenty of
You
other
changed
games.
the music, I just realized.
Well, the other one stopped.
Yeah, I noticed it got quiet and then it started back up, and I was like, "This is different."
Yeah, I just noticed it stopped. I was like, oh crap.
Yeah, but with the thing is, using Skyrim as the example, like that's been out for like ever. Like, yeah, they keep reselling it and doing like a legacy plus 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 edition or whatever, but like at this point, part of playing Skyrim has evolved into modding it. which leads me into what I wanted to bring up with this being Gary's mod. Okay.
Okay.
You follow me here?
I think so.
Gary's mod is literally taking the engine, if I'm correct, if not just the fucking game itself, of Half-Life or Half-Life 2, I can't remember, and then just modding the fuck out of it. But the difference is, it's like, oh, here's Skyrim, but I turned all the dragons into fucking Thomas the Train. And then here is this fucking sandbox that we made by ripping apart a game and then making a whole new thing out of it, fully dedicated to making new shit out of with existing assets. Like, I am very much okay with Gary's mod.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all right with Skyrim and its mods, mainly just because of its age. But if it's a brand new fucking game, don't touch it. At least let it age some. Because, like, people that were modding BDSP right out the fucking gate, I can't understand. Like, look, I will admit, my ass was a little frustrated and pissed off when I saw the models of how they were approaching the character models for, like, the overworld.
Yeah.
But, like, once I realized, oh, it's a 3D version of those 2D models that were chibi art. That's fine. And plus they were cute anyway.
Oh, exactly.
I had no problem with that. But, like, what I did have a problem with was people being all, oh, this is, like, people getting upset that it's Diamond and Pearl. It's like, and so they were like, well, fuck this, I'm gonna mod the fuck out of it. But at least, because don't get me wrong, I have seen people put in shit that wasn't even Pokemon. I don't know if you've seen that.
Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby.
I
That
love
was
it.
the example I was gonna, like, I'm like, that's funny, but I don't want it in my fucking Pokemon game.
Nah, it needs to be there.
No.
Yes.
No. Because my point being, it breaks the immersion. I don't want to be that guy that's like, my immersion, but like, like Kirby is not a Pokemon. As much as he looks like he would be one, he's not. Like, the closest he gets to being a Pokemon is fucking using his B ability on a Pokemon in Smash. But, like, the thing is, like, I just, like, unless, like, I'm just so not for it. Like, just play the game as intended. Like, unless you can tell the game is just clearly a cash grab, then go ahead, be that shitter, and just be like, fuck these guys. They tried to make this game and put it out as a cash grab. So we're gonna mod the fuck out of it and make some meme videos out of it. That's fine. Because I mean, at that point, the developer deserves it.
Yeah.
But, like, I just can't justify, like, you know, fucking, like, it. So, like, taking the whole BDSP thing, Kirby and BDSP, stop it. It's funny, like, keep your screenshots, but get him out of here. Kirby's not a Pokemon.
He doesn't have to be a Pokemon.
Then you have modding BDSP to where it has, like, you know, the national decks and other shit in it. You're basically making it an up-to-date Pokemon game instead of a one-to-one remake. I'm fine with that if you make it into something that's more of a fan game. Because, in my opinion, first of all, if you're doing that kind of shit, why aren't you taking that and making a fucking fan game out of it? I'm tired of the 2D fan games. And anything I've seen that's 3D is just modded shit that looks bad.
No.
And then you have playing the game as it is. Like, And I guess it could just be like I'm just very much of a loyal fucking person to my games, but like you don't see me pulling up like buying Mario Odyssey and then taking that file and then being like, I want to play Mario Odyssey, but I want Sonic levels in it. Like, then it's not Mario anymore. It's
Yeah.
Mario and Sonic at the summer game. No, but like, but I don't know. It's just my whole thing with that is like, I'd rather just play the game
Yeah.
as it's supposed to be. Like modding to me has always just come off as this kind of griefing thing, or just a means of doing funny shit for the sake of doing funny shit and be like, look at this funny shit. Like the oldest example I can think of is Left 4 Dead 2, but they replaced enemies with Hatsune Miku. Like they replaced the witch with Hatsune Miku, and so like they were running up into the train, and you, as you got closer, instead of crying, you heard her singing "Live in Polka," or however you pronounce it, and you would see Hatsune Miku just fucking curled up in the fetal position, like rocking back and forth, doing the animations of the witch. And it's just like, at the time, I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. And even to this day, I'm like, that's funny. The videos didn't age well, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
But like, at the same time, it's just weird. Like, I wouldn't want to play the game that way. I'd rather just be like, because to me, if you're gonna mod a game to that degree to where it's just like, okay, yeah, that clearly doesn't belong here, you might as well play Gary's mod. I think is the point that I've tried to get to this whole time. But
I gotcha.
the floor is now yours.
Okay.
Sorry,
Nah,
I just
you're
like
fine.
I feel like I've gotten everything out that I could.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. Which we'll probably get close to wrapping it up here in a minute as well.
Yeah.
Just like a couple additional things, like
Yeah.
I get it. Makes sense, Now, certain games, are way easier to mod than others. Some aren't. Some way harder. But the whole thing, when it comes to modding, as you did say, Skyrim or something like that, all of that is, or not all of it, but a lot of it has to do with like the developers actually adding in the mods and the whole mod screen itself, to where you can go in there, mod it inside the game without having to mess with the game files. Which Bethesda's really good about that. And then a lot of other type survival type games are doing that as well, which is really cool to see. And it's not so much taking away the initial experience of the game. It's just adding on to it if the developer no longer does or wants to, or whatever, or don't put in the time to develop it properly, like the Pokemon Company. But that's a whole nother thing, like,
Yeah.
if you buy the game, you enjoy it, you beat it, you play it, but you're like, I want to see what this would be like a little bit better, and then you go in, you download, you figure out how to get your file to work, your ROM or your emulator to work, get the mods loaded in, all that kind of stuff, and have a heyday. It's fine, go for it, whatever. But the biggest thing is like, if it's not for profit, go for it, because a lot of these older games that we want to go back and play, or we know we used to have, but when we were younger we stupidly sold it for whatever reason, and you go back to some kind of secondhand store to buy that game again, they're going to charge out the butt or out the ass. Like, it's absolutely insane.
Like, fucking,
Yeah.
over like $100 for
Mm-hmm.
like fucking a lot of older Pokemon games.
Yeah, exactly. When you can
Or, like,
easily go in and either get an R4 card for your DS or mod your 3DS or
and
whatever
see,
else.
like,
Because those are all on there.
if I remember right, because I don't know if I talked about it last time or not, but there's a guy that when I was younger, that was part of a pagan church group thing
Mm-hmm.
that I was in, and we were holding like the like gathering or whatever at our house, and one of the guys that was part of this group was just kind of like chilling like before we got to where we were doing like the ceremony or whatever, and he had his laptop with him, and he had like a DS,
Yeah.
like it was like the DS Lite I think at the time, and he had this cartridge that was like one of those DS cartridges you could put a micro SD in,
Mm-hmm.
and it had like a shit ton of like DS ROMs on it
Yeah.
and everything, which that's a whole nother thing with that. But I remember at the time he had copies of, I think it was like, I want to say it was like black and white,
Mm-hmm.
but they were the Japanese copies.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he had those files on that, and the English ones weren't even out in America yet.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, is basically having, is like with that, it's like, oh, this game's not out yet, but this guy, even though like the game's not out in America, rather than him try and get a hold of an authentic Japanese copy, he just got like this ROM off the internet
Yeah.
or something at the time, which for the time being like around the early 2000s, somewhere in there, because like what was this? For Black and White to have been out, it was probably closer to 2010.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Late
especially if it
2000s,
was in
roughly.
Japan. So like, yeah, the internet's not as fresh as it was, but like that still sounds like something that probably could have taken hours to do. And it's just like, I don't
Well,
know, like that is another case of like how we've been saying, it's like if the game is being sold, like don't
it's
fuck with
different.
it,
Yeah.
because like that, like what you had said had kind of made me think of that.
Mm-hmm.
But like in the whole regards of like, oh, use mods to make a game look better or play better, like I could understand making something play better, especially if it's like something that clearly the developer has just given up on.
It's either that or the hardware it's on
Right.
is just
Which
outdated.
I personally think that the case of the Switch is that, like, you know, we're probably about to get a new Switch sometime fucking soon, or at least I
I hope.
imagine we would, and that's the only reason why Scarlet and Violet, because I'll be honest, like Sword and Shield, BDSP, Scarlet Violet, Legends Arceus, they look great to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is retroactively looking back at games prior to them and going, yeah, no, this looks better than the last game. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I don't compare outside of, especially like comparing outside of Nintendo games. Like, fuck comparing. It's like, oh, this game looks like ass compared to the new God of War. Of course it does. It's not the same fucking
It's not
developer.
God of War. It's not even on the same
It's
hardware.
it's not, yeah, it's not even on the same hardware and everything. But I will say at the same time, personally, I would still want anything Nintendo to be handled by Nintendo.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what little soul is left would not be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because,
But
like, I don't know. Just with
yeah,
all that Mario RPG coming out soon, so freaking excited about.
and that I will say, from what I've seen with the newer stuff coming out, like the stuff they've announced, like,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the one problem that I feel Pokemon tends to hit with, and the whole like, oh well, mod it to make it look better, mod it to add shit to it that should be in it in the first place. The Dex cut, the Dex cut was something that I don't think they've ever properly explained.
No.
But my interpretation is so that way they don't have to fucking force everything into it. Like, genuinely, how the fuck would you have Kyogre in fucking... Like, if they were, like, as an example, Gen 10 comes out, it's Russia. Why the fuck is Kyogre here? Like, it's a case of, my justification on it is, like, you don't have everything in it, because when it comes down to it, they do pay attention to competitive stuff, especially more recently.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're going to balance it out by not putting everything in the game. And they also have a case of they've got overworked employees that, you know, don't want to do Pokemon stuff anymore.
Exactly.
And so they're spread thin. And when it comes down to it, it's all about the developer. But at the same time, someone worked hard on this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to play it authentically, and I'm not going to... I guess a good way to put it for myself is, like, as an example, I'm playing any Pokemon game across the fucking 9 generations we have so far. And, like, let's just use an older one as example. Like, if I'm playing Emerald on an emulator, and I'm like, well, I'm wanting to have a shiny Ralts for this run, but I don't want a shiny hunt for hours and hours and hours. So I'll use mods to up my shiny encounter rate.
Yeah.
I hate that idea. Because, like, yeah, sure, that's just a cosmetic thing. And most people would be like, well, why would you do that when you could just, like, you know, inject it into the game? It just doesn't feel right to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like at the end of the day, that's probably just my whole thing with modding. It's like, especially when it's a game that's out already, and like, yeah, sure, the games don't look the most pristine, and sure, not every Pokemon's in it, or like, not every move is in it. But like, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because if the move isn't in the game, it's for balancing reasons. If a Pokemon's not in the game, it's probably for balancing reasons. But at the same time, it could just as easily be a case of they're saving that for DLC to get people to be more incentivized to buy said DLC.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, you never know.
Exactly.
My standpoint on it, like, I can see where modding is fun. I can see where it can even be necessary. I just don't fully stand by it. And I also wouldn't be a lot like how you are, to where you're just like, oh, I can't wait to fucking mod this. Like, I feel like that thought right there just feels gross. Like, if you get a game, it's like, say, as an example, they announced Destiny 3, and it turns out it's not even an MMO, it's going to be more along the lines of, like, it has a very good single player experience, and it's a vast, heavy, like, loaded up single player story that lasts fucking for days and days, and it's this most amazing fucking thing ever, and you get it, and you're like, man, I can't wait to mod this. Like, that comes off to me as you're not playing the game to play that game, you're just playing Gary's mod with insert game here.
It's not with every game.
What?
What you were saying.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Nah, it's not with every game. It's not my first thought.
Because like
Depends
I know
on
that's
how
not
long
how.
I've played the game,
Yeah.
all that kind of fun stuff. I want to, if the option's there, if I want to have, different things and the option's there to do it. But
Yeah.
honestly, whenever it comes to
Like
newer stuff like that, I don't take the time because it's too much of a headache.
right. And I feel like it all just really comes down to emulation, yay or nay.
Yay.
If it's brand fucking new, no.
If you bought it,
Wait, yeah. Like if you bought it, I honestly
it's
still,
different.
I still kind of feel like, why the fuck would you take the time to hunt down this ROM and an emulator and all that shit when you have the game right the fuck there? Or like, why would you take the time to try and figure out how to pull the game off the game cartridge? Like that, it's just like you could just literally turn the game on and start playing
Yeah.
and everything. But I feel like there's just a lot of people that are like, I want it faster. I want it to go by so fucking fast that I can't see it. But then there's like, because like I could
Not
even
really
be fine.
fast, just smooth.
Like I could even be fine. Like say like, oh, down the line, it's like I get maybe 20. Let's go with like 40 years from now, where like they don't do shit with the Switch anymore. You can't buy Scarlet and Violet on shelves, and people have already like dug through the files and have you can find mods and like ROM hacks and stuff like that. That's fine. I just don't like it with brand new games, even if it's like, okay, you bought it and it's been a while since you played it and you want something different out of it. I feel like that's just kind of, I don't know. Overall, I just feel like it feels dirty. But then when you have something like Skyrim, it's like it's been out for like ever. And yes, you can still buy it, but like it's because it's just constantly getting re-released. And the only new thing is that the developers support the modding. And it's because there's a whole like, basically at that point they're selling you mods.
No.
Basically it goes from someone out there is working their ass off to fucking make a mod for this game that they're like, yeah, I want the elves to have big old titties. And then you have, hi, we heavily support this, and here's the big titty elf mod. $5. And it's just like, yeah, no, I feel like I just keep looping and looping and looping. Like, I can see where it's fun. I can see where, like, people come from with it. I just, as much as I'm like, yeah, no, watch anime on fucking fuck Crunchyroll and all that, I'm just like, my games are fine as they are. I like my games. But I feel like stuff like that is just completely different, though.
It is. They're
Like the
both
only
completely different.
common ground they have is supporting the official release.
Yeah. And that's what
And
I'm
I feel like
for.
And I feel like if you go from that angle, actually, because that just made me think of something. When you look at it from support the official release, I think the reason why modding video games makes me feel so gross is like, if it's kind of like if, say, okay, you watch Naruto, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you love Naruto, and then you're like, man, I can't wait till someone abridges this, and then this gets made of, or someone abridges this, and then you prefer the abridge over the actual thing.
No.
And it's like, and then
That's too
in
much
the
time.
case, what?
That's too much time. Way too much time.
What, abridging an anime?
No, watching Naruto all over again.
Oh yeah. But like, I feel like that's the best way to approach it, like, and also connect everything. It's just like,
Oh, it
oh,
does make sense.
what do you mean it doesn't make
No,
sense?
I said, and that does make sense.
Oh, it does make sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I thought it made plenty of fucking sense. Because like that's what I was basically chasing in circles this whole time was like,
Uh-huh.
like, what am I trying to get at?
I see you over
And
there
I was
chasing
like,
your tail for like the past 30 minutes.
and I was just like, that's it. Fucking basically, my point being, it feels gross because it doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel like it's what the developers intended. Much like how you wouldn't want Naruto to go from being like, I want to be the Hokage to I want to kill all the and then you just shut that shit right the fuck off now.
Well, they already did that with Boruto. But you know, that's a time.
That's
That's a thing
spoiler.
for another.
You spoiled it.
I didn't
What-
spoil anything. They just
In all
changed up the
fairness.
formula.
all fairness,
But that's a good.
Who's watching Boruto?
Honestly, me maybe. But
But yeah,
as always, remember,
yeah.
stay cheesy.
You're doing the outro. Like, look, we can have this be 2 hours. Like,
It
I was
already
talking-
has been. It's almost 2
Yeah,
hours.
well, we got 10 minutes.
10
fucker.
minutes? Nah.
We got 10 minutes.
No way.
What's your recording thing say? I got an hour 50.
I'm at an hour 10 for this one. What was this one? I don't
What
know
do you
what
mean?
that reads.
What is this one? Are there 2 recordings?
Well, yeah, like I said, it messed up.
Oh, yeah, because your thing fucked up. Oh, so
Hey,
you're gonna
you
have
want to go
edit
get
yours
some ice
anyway.
cream?
Go get some ice cream?
Yeah,
Ice cream? Ice cream!
I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah. Wait, where do you want to get ice cream from?
I don't know. Place that has ice cream.
This is a fucking beautiful 10-minute outro.
Exactly.
But I mean, we could basically kind of spitball some ideas for what we're doing next week.
True, true.
I mean, we also could spend these 10 minutes wrapping up properly. So like to start
Okay.
fucking
So
so piracy in general.
if you want
fucked.
if you want to do it, do it. That comes at your
we
own
can't
cost.
Stop you.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
stop you. Government's not
The
gonna stop you.
FBI, well, depending on
what you do, they may not stop you.
Look,
you know,
we
if
are
you're,
we here at the Last Word podcast are not going to tell you, reassure
I'm not
you
telling you.
into,
Yeah, no.
the FBI not kicking down your door.
No, they may not, unless you are the creator of it. You know, like with the Pirate
Right.
Bay, the Silk Road, all that kind of
no,
stuff.
Pirate Bay is how you get viruses on your computer.
Well, no. What I'm saying, if
That
you're
is how
the
you make your
creator
computer
of
shit the bed.
those, like if
But, you
if
know,
you were the creator of
yeah.
those, that's a little different.
Yeah.
If you're just consuming it, not hurting anybody, not selling it for profit, not trying to make a
But
quick
then-
buck,
Yeah.
who cares?
Just in general, like if you're wanting to do it, whether it's piracy in general, modding, emulation,
If you feel gross about it, don't do it.
right.
Like Tyler.
I, for one, definitely don't feel gross going on to insert thing here to watch fucking Dr. Stone, which the new season's great, by the way.
Yeah. Not even finished the first one
yeah.
yet.
I'm fucking sorry, what?
Haven't even finished the first season.
Deported. Get out of here. But no, but yeah, like genuinely that's actually the best takeaway from all this is like if you want to do it, go ahead, just be fucking careful, I guess. Not just for your own personal safety, but your computer as well.
If you know what you're doing,
Right.
you know.
And then like
If
also
you don't,
if you don't like if you start to do it and obviously you don't like it, then fucking stop.
Exactly.
No one's opinion is factually correct at all, despite how obviously opposite sides of the coin we continue to be.
And probably
like-
always will be.
that's
Unfortunately.
But the thing is, like I said, I do see like the appeal. It's definitely not for me when it comes to
No.
like modding or like, because I will say I do like emulation. It's just I don't do it because most of the stuff that I want to play I already have access to.
No.
But like then with modding, it's just I feel like with a lot of this it's just situational. Hey, don't do that.
Don't do what?
You fucking asshole.
I'm sorry, I've been up since like 6 o'clock
And
this morning.
now our fucking audience is yawning.
Yeah.
Look what you did.
You're welcome.
Fuck. But yeah, no. Any ideas what you want to do next week?
Oh, let's see.
Also, after getting ice cream, a mogus.
I'll probably be going to bed after ice cream, to be honest.
That's fair.
I gotta work at 9. Let's see. We could do.
Cause like what on that list I sent you feels very much like it's tickling your fancy.
We could do Okay Boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
I think
Oh
so.
no. Okay. Well, you heard it here. We're talking about fucking getting older next week.
Exactly. I'm gonna talk about shit that makes us angry. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah. Actually, that does sound like it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be
We
fun.
can defend. Defend a lot.
Oh yeah.
How we're old men.
Yes.
We're just
And
angry.
Creaky
Angry all the
and
time.
creaky.
Yeah,
Every time I stand up,
yeah.
everything pops. It's wonderful.
Oh yeah. But now that we've gotten that all figured out, I feel like everything's all wrapped up. Everything's all calmed down.
Yeah.
If you liked everything, do the things.
I'll say it since he doesn't want to say it. If you enjoyed listening to our rambling over the past 2 hours or so, hit that like button, share with your friends, subscribe, channel links down in the description along with the music links. And I think that's about it. Yeah.
Stay cheesy, stay spooky,
And we'll see you again. Because you haven't heard
the last word.
Bye.